It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a beer from Brewing Brothers, and this is their Coens Brothers New England IPA, coming in at 5% ABV in a 440ml can. These guys are famous for their film directing, The Big Lebowski and True Grit, amongst other films. So, without further ado, let's get this New England IPA out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. We got a 2 to 3 finger white head. Good levels of carbonation, a hazy looking straw coloured beer. I think for a New England IPA, if I'm being perfectly honest, it could be a little bit more soupy. It could have a little bit more oat and a little bit more wheat in it, maybe to get it looking soupy. But maybe if we give a little swirl to the bottom of the can, maybe it's all in the bottom of the can. Let's see if that changes. Not really. For me, this looks like a really good pale ale. I think it needs to be more, dare I say it, cloudy. Cloudy, soupy, call it what you like. More New England IPA like. 2 finger white head, yeah, it's nicely hazy, but it's more of a murk. It's more of a murk and I think it's a little bit too dark as well. I think it needs to be a little bit lighter. This is more of an amber coloured beer rather than... I think with the New England IPA, what I'm trying to say here is the lighter the malt, the better. You don't really want to be tasting a load of malt flavour in a New England IPA. A New England IPA is predominantly about the hops and only the hops and all those juicy passion fruit and mango and orange peel flavours in the middle. So no bitterness, or just a touch of bitterness, and next to no sweetness. You don't want to be tasting big malty kind of flavours in the beer. And I got a funny feeling just looking at this beer, just because I've drank so many New England IPAs, that this is going to be a bit malty. Let's get the aroma. It smells really good. Jammy, mixed fruit jams, passion fruit, mango, orange, tangerine. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's actually quite nice. I think the observation of the look of the beer is definitely coming through. It's refreshing, but New England IPAs tend to have a bit of body to them. They tend to have a bit of like an oaty creaminess. I'm not going to mention lactose. I'm not a lactose fan at all, so I don't want to talk about lactose. Some people choose to use lactose in their IPAs. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever, so I'm just going to mention oats. For me, a really good New England IPA has a load of oats in it, and it's kind of more of a creamy mouthfeel from the natural oat in the beer. This is more of a refreshing IPA rather than a oaty, creamy New England IPA. I think if the brewers wanted to improve the beer, I think they would smash a load more oat into this. But it's very nice. There's no getting away from it. It's a very nice beer. I'm picking up lots of tangerine flavours. There is passion fruit. There is mango. There's a little bit of an astringent bitterness on the back end. It's spicy and peppery. So there's work to do. There's definitely work to do with this New England IPA. I reckon there's room for improvement. But at the same time, I'm not going to start jumping up and down on my soapbox telling you how bad this beer is. It's not a bad beer at all. It's a really decent beer. In fact, I would say this would be their... This would be a really good quality IPA. But not quite. They're not quite hitting the nail on the head just yet with the New England IPA style. It needs work. It definitely needs work. Now we're able to really swirl the beer on and get the aroma. It's got a lovely aroma. I'm picking up little bits of lime, bits of lemon, passion fruit, mango. Ah, it's fab. It is fab. It is fab. It's fab as an IPA. It's fab as an IPA. New England IPA, it needs work. It needs work. You're picking up a little bit of sweet malt. You're definitely picking up a bitterness on the back end. And New England IPAs are not supposed to be about that. They're supposed to be more about the middle. It's all about the middle with a New England IPA. And if you're new to beer, if you're standing here saying, what is he banging on about? Then there's an art to this. And the art started with The Alchemist and Heady Topper in America. I mean, like 10 years ago. 10 years ago now, where the brewers out there at The Alchemist were knocking the sweetness down from the malt, also knocking the bitterness down in the hops. So next to no hop bitterness, next to no malt sweetness. And what you're left with then, it's almost like an unbalanced beer, you know, it could topple over at any time. But you're left with, especially if you add a load of oats to the beer, you're left with a big creamy passion fruit, mango, orange, tangerine flavoured beer that was revolutionary. Revolutionary beer. Everybody was drinking this style of beer. Everybody still is drinking this style of beer. But you've got to get it right. You've got to get it right. I'm not being overly critical, I don't think. I think I'm being very, very fair. I'd like to think that I was being very, very fair, and I would like to think that I was giving Brewing Brothers just good old honest feedback on my thoughts on this beer, and I hope they appreciate my good honest feedback. Let's rate this. If they just called this an IPA or an American Pale Ale, if they wanted to stick to this recipe and change the name of the beer to American Pale Ale, people would absolutely love this. But for the style of beer they've gone for that New England IPA style, I just think they're missing the mark a little bit. It needs work. They're based in Hastings in the UK. All their beers are themed on famous brothers. So the Belushi brothers, the Gallagher brothers, the Coens brothers. I think we have one more as well, which we need to get round to. But I'm going to rate this beer. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.